We were up and we were down. We were up and we were down. But, you know, Martin Luther King had a dream. And Essie Webb has a dream. And now my dream is that from the time we were here and we were in this community and there was a lot going on, there was a lot of sickness, a lot of asthma, a lot of diabetes, but the canary didn't die. We're still here. So here we are ready to take off, put air in those balloons, and see them soar again into the air. I think somebody said Bayview Rise. Bayview will be rising.
Project, Bayview Rise, that's part of a series of projects that we've been doing in this neighborhood, and I just want to mention a couple of the projects. They are part of our efforts to build public open space and public access in the Bayview community, and particularly in what we call the Southern Waterfront Beautification Area. Mentioning the 2 or 3 projects we've already completed, the expansion of the Heron's Head Park, and you're probably familiar with Heron's Head Park, but we've expanded that. As part of that development, we also did the temporary cargo way bike lanes, which we hope to get the resources to make permanent, but I hope you've been able to take advantage of those. And we also completed Bayview Park Shoreline, which is part of the Mission Bay project along Cherry Francois Boulevard, which is the beginning of the Bayfront Park development there.
Yes.
So those projects have been completed, and we have another 5 projects, major projects that are in the design and permitting process, and I just want to mention those because they're going to come online pretty quickly. We've been working, there was a representative here, we're working with the group that's responsible for the Copper Crane rehabilitation in Isles Creek. That project is moving forward. Bayview Gateway Park has been designed. We're standing on Bayview Gateway Park, the site of it. We're about to start the process of finding a contractor, and so we'll be starting construction on this park, which will be a great place to enjoy Bayview Rise later this year. So we're really looking forward to that. And it'll also give us a new, and the park goes all the way to the creek here, so it'll give us a new waterfront edge and new access to the bay, at least the Isles Creek in this neighborhood. Tulare Park, which is also on the Isles Creek, that project is moving forward. It's all part of the Blue Greenway. There's a new signage project that we're working on to put in new signage along Illinois Street to better identify this neighborhood and let folks know about the open space opportunities here. And then lastly, we're working on the design of Crane Cove Park, this 7-acre park that's going to be at Pier 70. So all of these projects are moving forward. And I just want to recognize Commissioner Kimberly Brandon, because none of this would have happened without her energy and her efforts in the direction that she's given court staff, but also she created the Southern Waterfront Beautification Fund, and so that goes a long way towards providing funds to do projects like Bayview Rise and the other projects that I mentioned. So thank you, Commissioner Brandon. So I know it's a little chilly here in wet, so I try to keep the program short. I want to turn to our supervisor, Malia Cohen, and as you would expect, working along the 7.5 miles of waterfront, though that mileage covers a number of communities. But we always work closely with the supervisor who represents the particular neighborhood, in this case, Supervisor Cohen. And she's really been a champion for the kinds of developments and projects that we've been working on, and working closely with our commissioner. And part of that, the support that she's provided has been through the budget process and providing leadership in the budget process, but also helping us have funds and resources, not only from our funds, but from the general fund with the GeoBond funds that we've been able to bring to this project. And I see, I have to admit, I see. You don't have to. Okay. Thank you for your efforts, Supervisor, exercising back there. But those GeoBond funds are really important for these kinds of projects and for the Bayview Park, again, that will be constructed on the site.
And Monique is really only as strong as her staff, and we've got outstanding port staff that are in the rain, in the rail yard, I mean, like wherever we are on the Port Commission. So I want to recognize particularly those that I work real closely with on a regular basis. And also, I got a long list, so please, just hold your applause so we can get on with the show. But I need to also lift up the Arts Commission. Tom Drugan, are you still here? There you are. This guy is incredible. If anyone has an opportunity to get to listen to him, he's got a vision that includes all of the ethnic communities here in San Francisco. And I wanted to give you a chance to give you some recognition. And your staff is absolutely incredible as we continue to work on Third and on many of the other projects that we're working on. And I haven't had a chance yet to recognize and thank the artists. Is Laura and Tom here? Where are they? Thank you so much for your beautiful vision. We also come to celebrate your artistic talent. I want to also recognize our port commissioners, Kim Brandon, as well as the president, Leslie Katz. And now this is definitely one woman who you can give her applause, because I inherited the project, but the heavy lifting really was done by my predecessor, Supervisor Sophie Maxwell. She is the one that had the vision and the discipline and corralled all the resources together. And then she passed the baton to me, and I've just been bringing it to the finish line. So I just want to say thank you. Now, on another note, just across the street, another project that Supervisor Maxwell started that I got a chance to do the ribbon cutting ceremony is the Center for Youth Wellness. And across the street also marks a new beacon of light. The Center for Youth Wellness is an organization and a health clinic headed up by Dr. Nadine Burke-Harris and Katie Albright. They've come together to forge their forces to help protect the children that are most victimized by trauma. And here we are across the street finishing out the day, getting ready to light up the Bayview community. And the art display, it's an incredible and powerful way to celebrate. Very powerful. Way to celebrate the rich maritime history that the Bayview community has. I see Miss Vincent in the neighborhood. I see other community members that are here, Linda Richardson. The old buildings, the cranes, the docks, everything along the waterfront really represent a key part of San Francisco's maritime history. And the landscapes of the changes, that we are experiencing with the development coming down the 3rd Street corridor into the southeastern neighborhood. Now, while these images are very iconic, these areas have not always served the public well. I don't know about you, but even I had trouble trying to figure out how to get here, where to park, and careful not to trip on the tracks. But we're changing that, and I think that this is a physical manifestation of that change, of the change that's going to be happening all along Port property, where we are opening up the space for the city of San Francisco, and that is really exciting. And I want to acknowledge the residents from Bayview, from India Basin also, and from the Dogpatch neighborhood that have been holding it down, screaming and yelling and holding the city accountable. Thank you. It's starting to pay off. Here we are. This is an exciting time. Let's celebrate. And so while significant investment is coming to rebuild and revitalize this part of San Francisco, projects like the one that we're here to celebrate will improve the spaces and serve as a gateway to everyone in and outside of the neighborhood. So there's no secret that the Bayview is strong and diverse and vibrant and growing and rising and thriving. So to the artists, you picked an amazing title, amazing theme. I understand you borrowed it from one of our Bayview residents, and it is so apropos. I'm definitely excited about this project. I'm excited that it's completed, and I can't wait, Monique and Port Commissioners, to do more. There's more on the way. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your horses. Hold on to your seats, because we are going up. We are going up collectively. We're not leaving anyone behind. Thank you very much.
I actually stole a few of my comments. I was going to say it's really a treat to have come full circle. My very first stint in public service for the City and County of San Francisco was actually with Sophie's mother, serving on the Citizens Advisory Committee for the Hunters Point Shipyard, along with Byron. So it's particularly exciting to be back here and be part of Bayview Rising and ribbon cutting this evening. You're going to hear there's so many people involved in this project, and I could sit and thank countless numbers, but there are a few that I really would like to single out. As you've heard, my colleague, Commissioner Brandon, has really just been a driving force in so much of the work that the Port does in this area, and really all of the Port staff has made such a commitment, from the Blue Greenway, which you will start seeing and hearing more and more about, which I think is tremendously exciting, to all of the parks that are coming along with that. But I do want to thank David Beaupre for his efforts. There he is. In shepherding this project. One of the highlights for me, often we sit on contentious activities and have to really have a difficult time figuring out what we're going to do, but one of the more exciting things that I've been able to participate in was the jury to select the artists for this project. And so I do really want to thank the Art Commission for helping to put all of that together, and I would like to mention the other jurors who were part of the panel. Gregory Chu, one of the art commissioners, Lee Markopoulos, the chair of the graduate program in curatorial practice. I went quite a bit sitting with these folks, I have to say. Former supervisor Sophie Maxwell, Julio Cesar Morales, who's an artist, and Byron Rett from the Port staff, and Mary Rubin, project manager from the San Jose Public Art Program. So it's a tremendous group, and we received over 135 applications to try and compete for this project. The jury, luckily, thanks to the Art Commission, those numbers were winnowed down to 23, and we spent time looking at 23 different potential artists, narrowed down to 4. And the thing that, I'm so thrilled that we ended up with the artists that we did, Haddad and Drugan. When they presented, it was just so clear that they understood the community, and it's been proven countless times that they really got what everyone wanted in this project, which was reaching out to the community and creating something that we can all be so proud of, that is beautiful both in the daytime, and we're about to see it at night, for those of us that have seen a few previews. So I also just want to thank the artists again for working with the community the way they did, and understanding the incredible opportunity that was presented here, and how they just absolutely, no pun intended, rose to that challenge. So thank you very much. Thank you.
The projects call on a lot of different departments within the city. The Port focuses on the waterfront and waterfront related development. We may be artists in our free time, but that's not our expertise. And we turn to the Art Commission with this process to help us find this kind of artist team that can develop this sort of quality. I want to mention the staff we work with at the Art Commission. Susan Pontius, Mary Chow, and Justin Topfer were folks who led this selection process, went through all of those submissions, culled through those, got them to a short list that we were able to review and then land on this great team and great design. So I wanted to recognize them. But then also wanted to acknowledge the executive director of the Art Commission, Tom Drugan, is the executive director. He's been here since 2012, and you heard from the supervisor. He's doing wonderful things. I do want to mention some of his background. He has over 15 years of consultant experience before he came to the city, working in areas of arts and culture and youth development and education. And before that was the executive director of the Performing Arts Workshop. So with that, I asked Tom to come up and say a few words about the Art Commission and then introduce the artists.
I just want to start by saying to thank the Port Commission for recognizing the role of art in our communities and taking it so seriously, not just here, but throughout the Port. We live in an amazing city that recognizes the value of art as an agent of social transformation and in telling our stories. And I think this is a perfect example of a project where artists have worked with the community to tell the important story of a community, to celebrate it, and to rise it. And I think I just really want to acknowledge all of our partners at the Port, the commissioners, the staff, who made this partnership so great, and for your commitment to having art be a critical part of our city and all the work you do. So thank you so much. With that, I also want to thank the supervisor for all of your support of the arts. For those of you that don't know, the Arts Commission has been working on the Third on Third monthly art celebration on 3rd Street. Thanks to the support of the supervisor and an ad back, we've been able to continue that work, to continue to see the arts as an economic engine in our communities. It's part of a broader investment we've been making at the Arts Commission here in the Bayview. If you haven't seen the artworks by Ron Saunders, a local photographer at the Bayview Branch Library, please check them out. It's incredible work from a local artist, a really great part of our library bond work from the 2% for Art program. Also some new works that are coming down the pipe or that you should know about. There's a sculpture by Nobuo Nagasawa on East West Creek that's a full-scale representation of Liberty Ship honoring Bayview's maritime history. And then, as mentioned, the upcoming Gateway Sculpture Project at Cargo and 3rd Streets right here. So this is just the beginning, and we are so thrilled to be working with the Port on this and working with the Supervisor's Office, as well as the Office of Economic Workforce Development and others. I think just to celebrate our communities and the role of art in them is an incredible thing. So I did want to just second the thank you to our team at the Arts Commission. As mentioned, Susan Pontius, the Director of Public Art, Justine Tupper, the Project Manager, Mary Chu, our Communications Director, Kate Patterson, and Tyra Fennell, who's heading up the Third on Third celebration, is here with us as well. So please talk to us about the work happening here in Bayview. And now it's an honor to get to welcome our signature guests and our artists visiting from Seattle, Laura Haddad and Tom Drugan, to come up and just say a few words and tell us a little bit about this process and what this work means. So it's my honor to introduce Laura and Tom to you all.
That this project has so much meaning to us on a personal level. We both spent some really formative years here when we were in our 20s and worked in the city, went to school here, met some amazing artists. And so it's really great to just come back here and have this amazing artwork, and I think for us it really does bring our life kind of full circle too. So that's been really powerful. So on top of all the other thank yous that we've already heard, we have a few too. Of course, David Beaupre and Justine Tupper were really shepherded our project all the way, and we're eternally grateful. Not here tonight, unfortunately, the painter, R.B. Morris III, he was the only mural painter we could find who was willing to take on the challenge of painting this building. And he worked day and night over 3 to 4 weeks with his crew. His photographer, Adam Campbell, is back here tonight, and he did the time-lapse that you see here. The lighting installers were Legend Theatrical, Mike, Dave, Roger. They did multiple mock-ups with us with the lights, and the results were really helpful in figuring out what to do. So I also wanted to part of our process was meeting with some members of the community and really getting to hear their stories, and I wanted to just acknowledge all of those people who were so helpful. So we came out here, I think it was almost a year ago, and we met with Vanessa Banks, a community advocate, lifelong resident, Jeffrey Betcher, who founded the Caseta Gardens Initiative, Kimberly Brandon, the commissioner, Dan Dodd, a historian who just had all kinds of just really interesting stories about the place. Antoinette Mobley, a lot of energy for art. SF Art Everywhere is her organization. Karen Pier is here tonight, community advocate. Ron Saunders, the photographer whose work is at the library. And then Olin Webb, who is a lifelong resident and community advocate. Through that, we really just heard some really just powerful stories about the community, and Olin especially just was telling us all these stories about remembering paddle drives coming down 3rd and buying shrimp from the fishermen out on the bay, and just, we really got the sense that this place, you know, had all these hidden stories that we wanted to bring to light. So we started to look for images that would really reflect those stories. We were also really impressed by just the environmental initiatives like the Herrington Park and the Caseta Gardens, and this amazing effort to transform the neighborhood. So the other part of our research was we brought a bunch of words with us. We had tags engraved with words, and there are some commemorative tags over on the back table there that have a few of the words. And so what we did was we asked people to respond to the words, tell us which words meant the most to them, or suggest new words. And I just wanted to read the words that came to the top. So they were faith, hope, participation, struggle, victory, exchange, diversity, now, then, root, and rise. So they were all just really powerful words. And so we decided to emphasize the idea of this word of rise because it seemed to embody just the efforts of the port, of the community to really make this place, you know, just become this vibrant community that everyone kind of feels is here already. So, so we then just started to express these words, these images, through images that either grow or rise or float. So water, birds, and the other imagery in here is the creek, Herrington Park, represented by the big green heron here, the shorebirds, Butchertown, the historic, we're actually standing right now on historic Butchertown, the slaughterhouses and tanneries that were here where the cattle used to be driven down 3rd Street to their demise. The Prunus ilicifolia, the Ely cherry, which was a native shrub that grew on these shores here and was a food source for the first people. So we were really trying to bridge the past, the present, and the future through the imagery. And so then maybe I think the most inspiring thing that we discovered was a quote by Olin's mom, Essie Webb, who's here tonight. And it really means a lot that you're here because it really did inspire the art, your words. And so Essie, as I understand, moved here about 70 years ago, so has been here for a very long time. And her efforts and what we've learned about your life is just wanting to create a cohesive community. And so the quote that we found is this: all the air came out of the balloon and it just came to the ground and it's still there and it's just waiting for someone to put some more air in and blow it up. And we just thought this was so poetic and powerful, and that this art was an opportunity to really just like blow it up and really make things rise. So that's kind of the genesis of the imagery of the art. And then just in aesthetic terms, we were really interested in playing with the idea of like color and light interacting with each other and creating some animations that you'll see tonight. So what we've discovered, you always discover new things when the art is installed. And so what we've noticed in seeing all the photographs of the art is that the sunlight even makes the colors appear different depending on what time of day you're seeing it. The blues will pop at certain times of day, and then the golds and the reds start to pop at sunset. And so the same kind of effect happens with the colored light. So during the day, these images, we can't see them now, but they're all overlapped onto each other, and then the colored light starts to separate them and create a blue scene of water and birds, and then the green scene of the big heron and the land kind of rising. And then the red scene is the cow representing Butchertown and the balloon. So these animations start to play off of each other and create this kind of moving image of this community and a sense of transformation, and it's really this idea of the Bayview Rising.
Acknowledge Essie Webb in 1944. That's when she moved to the Bay Area with into the Bayview Hunters Point in particular with 8 children from East St. Louis, Missouri, and her husband worked at Hunters Point Shipyard. So we really appreciate your efforts in the Bayview community, having worked as an activist in the community, helping to create Bayview Joint Housing Authority that worked with the redevelopment agency and the various redevelopment projects that were developed here in the Bayview community. So, thank you.
I'm just going to say, it's good to see all of you here. And it's good for me to be here. And from what I have heard, that balloon that went to the ground and waiting for someone to put air in it, I believe it's right here in this room. Everyone is ready to put air in that balloon. I know I'm ready. All 96 years of me, I'm ready.